Hi guys, and welcome back to Excel, a safe place where you can share your experiences, be inspired and be motivated to live your best life and to excel. Poisonous, emotionally unhealthy, psychologically abusive, toxic, that's the word I'm looking for. And I'm talking about relationships here, not just for couples, but also for friendships. Is that your relationship? Do those words describe the relationship you find yourself in? I'm going to highlight some of the signs that you need to look for when you're in a toxic relationship. And if you find that these signs keep popping up, then you need to listen, you need to reevaluate, and you need to take action. So one of the first things that come to mind is if you find that you can't be yourself when you're in that person's company. No matter what you do or say, they always seem to be ashamed or embarrassed by your individuality. You will often find that they will disrespectfully make fun of you in public, often using sarcasm to excuse their behavior and the seriousness of what they're doing, taking every opportunity to tear you down. And the worst thing is when they take sensitive issues that you may have shared with them and turn it into humor. This is commonly known as barbed humor, when the joke seems polite on the surface, but there are undertones of hurtful criticism. The unfortunate twist to this behavior is that you are left feeling as though it's all your fault. Crazy, right? Be aware of someone who constantly needs you to make them feel better. Alarm bells should be ringing when someone always wants to keep you for themselves. They discourage you from having friends or relationships with anyone else. It's important that you should feel free to develop your own friendships, your own interests, if that's what you desire. Do you find that you are always being blamed for every situation, every mistake, every argument, until eventually you start to believe that it must be my fault? I must be to blame. You find yourself apologizing just to keep the peace, pretending everything is okay when it really isn't. They are always playing the victim. Hello? Sound familiar? Do you find yourself gradually changing who you are, losing your own identity, lowering your standards to match theirs? Do you find that they are always trying to change your mind so that you always have to agree with their suggestions and their opinions? These are the signs that the poison is beginning to take effect. Don't ignore them. Take notice. Remember, there's not always an antidote for the emotional and psychological damage after you've allowed these toxins to take up residence in your life. When you are never a priority, when your input is never important, when you are not elevated and supported in your relationship, when you are not respected, when you constantly highlight your feelings and the other person totally disregards them, when there's a total lack of communication between you, you know by now, no questions asked, that your relationship is toxic for everyone involved. You need to take the time to examine the relationships that you are in. You need to spend time evaluating whether you see the signs that determine whether or not this relationship is unhealthy, whether or not this relationship is toxic. You don't want to make that mistake of being in denial and waiting until it is much too late. Make the decision to liberate yourself. Distance yourself from the poisonous and manipulative people in your life. If that means cutting them off, blocking all contacts, being ruthless, then that's what you need to do. Do what you need to do for you. You may feel lonely and alone, but that's okay. Time is a great healer for that. You will soon realize that you deserve so much better than what you have allowed yourself to be complacent in accepting. Once you devote quality time to work on building your self-esteem, your self-worth, your integrity, and to loving yourself again, then and only then will you start to live your best life and exhale.